The assignment. He does not throw you the keys. He does not toss them across the kitchen island like it's nothing. He walks over, in his socks, on a Tuesday that is not even your birthday, and he places them in your palm and folds your fingers over them himself, like he's afraid you might drop something he can't replace. That's it. No speech. He picks up his coffee and walks back to the garage like nothing happened, except something did. Level 1, $200. The car is a 2003 Toyota Corolla, silver going on gray, the kind of car that has never been noticed by anyone in its entire existence. The passenger window doesn't roll all the way up, so there's a permanent quarter-inch gap that whistles on the highway. The odometer reads 187,000 and some. You don't ask what happened to the other 4 inches of window. You just drive. The seat is set for a guy 5 inches shorter than you. And for the first 2 weeks, you drive with your knees against the wheel because adjusting it feels like erasing something. Eventually you adjust it. That's the first thing that becomes yours instead of his. The radio is stuck on a sports talk station because the buttons broke off years ago and nobody bothered fixing it. So for the entire span of your ownership, sports talk is the soundtrack to your entire adolescence, whether you like sports or not. You put 40,000 miles on that Corolla, to school, to your first shift at a sandwich shop, paying you $8.25 an hour, to a girl's house you were too nervous to actually knock on the door of 3 separate times before you finally did. You sell it for $700 to a guy who runs a landscaping business and needs something to haul mulch bags in the trunk. He doesn't ask about the whistle in the window. You don't mention it. You watch him pull away and you feel lighter and heavier at the same time, and you don't have a word for that yet. Level 2, $400. You're 22. First car with your own money. A 2009 Honda Accord, charcoal gray, 96,000 miles. Bought off Craigslist from a dental hygienist named Priya, who was very specific about the fact that she'd never eaten in it. You believe her. You buy floor mats the day after you buy the car, before you buy groceries that week, which tells you something about your priorities that you choose not to examine. The Accord doesn't whistle. The Accord has power windows that go all the way up. This alone feels like an upgrade in social class. You wash it every single weekend in the parking lot of your apartment complex, and your neighbor, an older guy named Walt, watches you from his balcony with a coffee and never offers to help, but always nods when you're done, like you passed some kind of inspection only he's qualified to give. You get your first real job offer in that Accord, sitting in the parking lot afterward with the engine off, hands still on the wheel, unable to make yourself drive away because you want 10 more minutes of being someone whose life is about to change. You get dumped in that Accord too, on a Sunday, in a Trader Joe's parking lot, and you sit there for 40 minutes after she walks inside because you don't trust yourself to merge onto the road yet. The Accord does 71,000 miles under your ownership, and every single one of them happens to you directly. No distance, no cushion, just you and the road and whatever you're feeling about it. You sell it for $3,100, almost double what you paid, and for 1 week you think you're a genius at buying cars. You're not. You just got lucky, and you won't get lucky like that again, though you don't know that yet. Level 3, $900,000. You're 29. First brand new car off the lot, a Mazda 6, $31,000, financed at 4.9%. It has a sunroof. It has adaptive cruise control you use exactly once and then never again because it makes you nervous letting the car decide anything. It smells like a car that has never held another human's life in it, and for the first month, that new car smell feels like proof you made it. You don't wash it yourself. You pay $14 at a place with a vacuum wand and a guy who dries the hood with a squeegee blade and turns down your tip twice before finally taking it. Your mom sits in the passenger seat for the first time on a visit home and runs her hand along the dashboard slowly and says, "It's nice," twice, and the second time she's not talking about the dashboard at all. You put 9,000 miles on it the first year. That's less than the Accord did in one, and you don't clock that yet, but it's the first quiet drop in a curve that's about to keep dropping. Level 4, $3 million. An Audi A6 matte, $54,000, and the first time you valet it somewhere, the guy opens the door with 2 hands, slow, like it's a piece of furniture he's been trained on. The Honda in front of you got opened with 1 hand and a half glance. You clock the difference. You do the math later that night on your phone, just for fun, just curious. 17 extra seconds of a stranger's careful attention cost you $54,000. You laugh about it out loud, alone, in your kitchen, and the laugh doesn't sound like you expected expected it to. You start parking at the far end of every lot. You start noticing door dings the way you used to notice texts. A shopping cart clips the bumper outside a Whole Foods, and it costs $380 to fix a scratch you wouldn't have fixed on the Accord, would barely have registered on the Corolla. The Audi loses $9,000 in value the year you own it. $9,000 is 3 Accords, 3 entire cars, 3 entire years of your early 20s, gone in 12 months of depreciation. You didn't feel happening until you did the math. You didn't do that math at the time you bought it. You're doing it now, standing in a parking lot, staring at a scratch that used to be nothing. Level 5, $8 million. 39, a Porsche 911, the car you used to stop and stare at outside the dealership on your lunch break when you made $8.25 an hour and had grease on your work shirt from the sandwich shop, you thought one day. That thought cost nothing. This car costs $1,700 a month between the loan, insurance, and a reserved garage spot that costs more per square foot than your first apartment's entire rent. You drive it 38 miles a week. The Corolla did 38 miles before first period. One night you can't sleep, so you do the thing you used to do at 22 in the Accord. You get in, you drive, no destination, windows down, highway at 1 a.m., and the 911 does in 3 seconds what the Accord could never do, and the engine sounds like money on fire, and you wait for the feeling. It doesn't come. Not the speed, not the sound. The specific feeling of being 22, broke, driving something that rattled, not knowing where you were going and not caring. That feeling isn't in this car. You take the next exit. You go home. Your dad never rode in the Porsche. He passed the year before you bought it. He would have touched the hood with one hand and said the same thing he said about the Corolla. Be careful. He didn't mean the car. You understand that now. In a garage, alone, at 1:40 in the morning. Level 6, $40 million, 6 cars, a Range Rover for the school run, a Porsche for Sundays, a Lamborghini for events that mostly haven't happened yet. The Lambo has 900 miles on it in 2 years. Your dad's Corolla did 900 miles in 3 weeks. You hire a guy, Danny, to come start the cars every Tuesday so the batteries don't die. He lets each one idle 15 minutes, checks the tires, leaves. Danny drives your fleet more consistently than you do. He drives a 2012 Civic himself with 190,000 miles and a check engine light he's been ignoring for a year, and a daughter starting community college in the fall. One Tuesday, you come home early, and the garage door is up, and Danny is sitting in the Lamborghini, not starting it, just sitting, both hands on the wheel, eyes closed. Then he opens his eyes, starts the car, moves to the next one. You don't say anything. You go inside. Danny got more out of that car in 30 seconds with his eyes closed than you've gotten out of it in 2 years with your eyes open, and he got it for free. Level 7, $110 million, 11 cars, climate-controlled garage, a separate electrical panel, insurance running $61,000 a year, combined miles, driven last year across all 11 cars, 2,900. Your Corolla alone did 40,000 in 3 years. You walk the row on a Wednesday night after the house goes quiet, past a Ferrari that's appreciated 4% and moved 0 inches, past a Bentley you drove once, to a wedding, and haven't started since. You stop at the end of the row and you take out your phone and you search 2009 Honda Accord charcoal gray and you scroll past listings, wrong year, too many miles, not enough miles, until you find one. You look at it for a long time. You don't buy it, not because of the money. You put the phone away. You walk back through the garage, past $9 million in cars that won't move tomorrow either, and you go inside, and the thought that follows you up the stairs is the only thing in this whole story that was ever actually true. The most expensive car you ever owned cost $31,000. The cheapest one gave you your whole life. It was never the car. It was always the miles.